And the fact that he just looked at me and he goes, I'm so sorry, but the baby's not got a heartbeat.
Damn. Kick it, bro.
All right, so I'd like to welcome one of our members, or one of our favourite members onto the
Very
potty.
special ones.
Very, very special. If you just want to introduce yourself.
My name's Kat, or Catherine.
Kat.
Kat. Kat to everyone mostly.
Yeah.
So Kat's our powerhouse.
He is the powerhouse.
Powerhouse recently new mum.
Yes.
We thought it'd be awesome to get Kat on. Kat's got such a cool story. How we brought Immi into the world. Your journey to get there, which is a long one. A very roller coaster ride of one.
Yeah.
That felt like we were on that. The whole gym was on the ride with you. And we thought it'd be really, really cool to hear your story. So the story of like an IVF story and what it took to get there. So if you could, we'd love you. Take us back to, I guess, so the whole reason you started the gym was for the purpose to get, or it was something prior?
No, something prior. So we had moved to the area. Neither my husband or myself lived, in the southwest Sydney area. And I wanted a gym because I know how much a gym can help create friendships and build community. And so I had no friends here. My husband has friends that live around the area and I had none. And I really missed my gym. That was where I used to live. And so I started looking for a gym and I came across G3, and the video that hooked me was Kye, Gamble and Kane doing Party in the USA. And if you haven't
play a classic.
If you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
I hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream in my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? So I put my hands up to play the songs and butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah, and moving my hips like yeah. Put my hands up to play the song, you know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah.
That basically, as soon as I saw that, I saw the fact that, these really fit guys, happy to take the piss out of themselves, and just have fun with it. That was a community that I wanted to be a part of. And, honestly, being a plus size woman, walking into a gym can be really daunting. And so you wanted somewhere that was going to be that community feel. Because, like you said, the whole idea of being the powerhouse, people would not expect that when you see someone like me walk into a gym. They see someone who might have just started their fitness journey. But I've been on that fitness journey because I've always just been the bigger fit girl.
Right.
Playing rep netball throughout the years and all of that. Weight has never been something that's been easy for me to lose. Doesn't matter what I would do. And so joining a gym, I wanted that where I felt like I belonged.
Right.
And I know that the first day that I walked in and you took me through the paces and I was like, I could barely walk after it. Never start on heavy leg day.
Well, here we go again. Another leg day conversation.
Yeah. And just after that first day, I felt the vibe, and it was so different to every other gym that, you could possibly go to. So that was late, I think 22. Must have been late 2022.
It would have been, yeah.
So my husband and I got married, and we said that we were going to try for a baby straight away because we wanted to build a family. I'm a primary school teacher, so I've dedicated the last 15 years of my life to growing up other people's children. It was my time to have mine.
Sure turn.
Yeah. So we said we'd do 12 months because based on everything, that was the kind of consensus. Try for 12 months and then go and see someone if you need to. So we did that, and that was, end of 23. We started to consult some doctors. And the one thing that really hit home for me, I guess, is after looking through all these different doctors, we picked one and went to an appointment. And he walked out of his office, looked at me in the waiting room with my husband, went back into his office, and then 5 minutes later came out, took us in. And 100%, he just basically looked me up and down. And the very first thing he said to me was, I'm pretty sure you have endometriosis, pretty sure you have PCOS, and you need to lose 20 kilos in 20 weeks before I'll work with you. So that was
learn some bedside manner, man.
Yeah, I remember you coming to the gym and saying exactly that.
And I remember I called you, Kye, that night, and I said to you, this is what I've been told. And basically, with that 20 kilos in 20 weeks, it had to be on his diet, no exercise. For me, I can't go without exercising in the week. And I remember you looked at me and you basically just said, you can't do it unless you do something unhealthy. And that's
the speed he wanted to do you at, speed he wanted you to do it at, and his expectations on that timeline, it would have been an unhealthy way to do it.
Yeah. And so I just decided that he wasn't the right doctor for us.
Yeah, good. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
100%. Gone.
I think the hard part about the medical field is everything still goes by BMI.
Yeah.
So
and these people don't know that you can squat 180 kilos.
Yeah, you outlift most our blokes.
Yeah.
Not me though, but most our blokes.
it's all right. I'm still chasing Sean. I'm still chasing him every morning. But yeah, so because my BMI didn't match their standards, and I understand that I'm someone who still needs to lose weight, but when you have 70 kilos of lean muscle from scans and that, it's not easy to lose muscle. Yeah. And, after talking to you guys, I went and searched out for another doctor who happened to be really young in the field, but he just had better bedside manner. Mm-hmm. And he said to me, look, if you can drop 5 kilos, I'll work with you, which was far more manageable. But after losing almost 32 kilos with you guys, another 5 was tough.
Yeah.
And I remember I had the conversation with you, George, and you opened up to giving me some one-on-one PT. And so it was, I trained in the morning at 5 a.m. with my 5 a.m. crew. I'd come in the afternoon and train with you, and then I'd do another session after that. So the 3 sessions in a day were what it took to get to that 5 kilos.
While still focusing on your food.
Yep.
While still focusing on your steps.
Yeah.
Trying to tick every box.
So after that, that was kind of the end of 2023, and the actual medical field themselves, they were shutting down for Christmas. So we got pushed to the start of 24. Finally got approved, which was great, in early 2024. And basically then you start the whole medical protocol for IVF. So, the injections, the blood tests, the ultrasounds, everything invasive. We did our first round of IVF, but I didn't respond to the medication how they hoped I was going to. So that cancelled.
And you have to tie it in with your cycle.
Yeah.
So if we miss that, we have to wait for the next cycle.
Yeah.
So it's not okay, this doesn't work, we can try again next week.
Yeah. So basically when they give you the injections and all of that, they're looking at how many follicles are growing. Where generally speaking in a cycle you would have 1 or 2 dominant follicles. They're trying to potentially produce 15, 16, 20. So they're trying to get you to hyperstimulate. But if your body doesn't respond to the medication, instead of trying to push forward, our doctor said, look, I think your best chance is for us to stop and to wait until next cycle.
Yep.
So did that, next cycle, new medication, same protocol, multiple injections, multiple, medications that you have to be taking. And this time it worked. But the only downfall to it working is it worked too well. And I ended up getting hyperovarian syndrome, which basically is where you overstimulate to the point that your stomach cavity starts to fill with liquid.
Right.
So unfortunately, as good as it was, so we ended up with 15 eggs, and all 15 fertilised. All 15 made it to day 3, which is kind of unheard of. Like, you kind of lose half each day as they go along. But slowly after that, we ended up with 6 that we could freeze. And given our ages and that, there was no suggestion of doing any genetic testing or anything like that because, the chances were that it was going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And because I got the hyperovarian, basically you have to just ride out your cycle, because the only way to fix it is to have a period. And so, as devastating as it was that we couldn't have a fresh embryo transfer, it just could have been a life or death situation if I had gone down that route.
Okay.
And the doctor didn't want that. And I, as much as I was upset at the time, I understand and appreciate the fact that he cared about that, because some doctors probably potentially would have just been like, oh yeah, let's go. So yeah, had to ride that out. So that was then up till March. I had my first frozen transfer, and the egg took, and everything was looking really, really promising. We got to 7 weeks, did a scan, everything was perfect. My next doctor's appointment was at 12 weeks, and we got to the doctor's office, and I felt fine. I was great. I was excited to get to that 12-week mark, because that's kind of like
That's the
generally the safe zone.
Yeah.
And all I can remember is the doctor going really quiet, and the fact that he just looked at me and he goes, I'm so sorry, but the baby's not got a heartbeat.
Fuck.
Damn. There's that dust.
Yeah. So I went into fix it mode straight away. I was just like, when can I have the surgery? Because I just needed it done.
Yeah.
And bless my doctor, he actually he did the whole surgery without charging me or anything, given everything we'd been through. And yeah, he was incredible. The care factor there. And I remember I got home and you guys had all been excited for me, and
You messaged me straight away.
yeah. And then the next day being home, Kye just showed up at my door, with a care package of food and that. And that was a really tough time because, getting to that point was so painful. And the fact that it was a silent miscarriage, if you don't know what it is, basically your body thinks you're still pregnant, but the fetus has passed. And your body still continues to act as it's pregnant. So the fact that I'd been carrying around a baby who had passed for nearly 3.5 weeks, it just killed me. Just knowing or feeling like I had failed, even though I know I didn't have anything to do with it. It was just, yeah, what it was.
Wow.
I do, not to take the light off, I remember getting your message, and me and Kye were running the last class, and I don't think either of us could run the class once I told Kye the message, and I think we were both just bawling, eh? We were just bawling.
Oh man, just sucked the energy right out. And it was just because we'd already we've been along the whole ride with you, right? And it just like so many challenges that you had to overcome. You know, like even switching doctors because like the expectations and his bedside manner wasn't what you want in that environment. So many hurdles to overcome, and then to get to that point, like you said, like that was the skin that we're waiting for, right?
Yeah, we were waiting for, like, I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't go for what you went through, but it was our love for you and Sammy, and like our hopes for you guys too, and you know, and not that we wanted to put that on you, but like we were heartbroken for you guys, man.
Yeah.
I remember me and Kye we autopilot that class, and we kind of got everybody out and we shut the door. It's like, what do we do?
I remember the first day that I came back to the gym afterwards. I think it was maybe about a week or so after everything. And you both just said to me, just come in and just send it. Like, yep. And I remember there was like, you know, I was doing dumbbells and I'm like bawling my eyes out, and people around me have no idea why. But I just had to push myself. And what I learned at that point in time is I actually pushed myself too far, because I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping properly, you know. It was a lot. And I remember the first session, George trained with me. And I remember like we were all sitting at the leg extension at the end, and it was just like nobody said anything. We just like hugged each other. And that was kind of the point where I went like, this gym is more than family. This is family. Like, it's that community that there is no expectation, but expect we're going to be there. And I think that ties probably in really well with the whole idea of you guys are setting the standard for the future of what gyms should be like.
Hope so.
Yeah.
We hope so.
Can I just segue a little bit, because I really, really want to touch on something, because I love it. You have a circle, like you have your friends there, but there's a circle in that gym.
Yeah.
That's your circle.
Yeah.
And that circle came out of one of our challenges, didn't it?
Yeah, so it first started off with, you know, Kye just putting me and a few other women together of a morning at 5 a.m. And, you know, you slowly start to get to know your regulars, and, you know, you do your high fives, and then you start having a chat and a joke. And then we had the challenge, and at that point we kind of had a little group of 4, and we call ourselves the Posse. And
that's not the full name.
Is that the full name?
I can't say the full
yes,
name.
Yes, you can. You can.
No, I'm not. I can't.
Who gets in trouble if you say it?
No. George overheard something the wrong way, and he named it himself, and then the name just stuck. But yeah, it was kind of the point where when we came together, you know, we're 4 different people. You know, some people even thought for some reason that Ian and I were actually married at one point, because the way that we banter with each other. Just
because of the banner in the class. Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, Brad, Rosa, Ian and myself, we all became a really close family. And during my second lot of IVF, I had a knock on my door one night, and they'd rocked up to my house with dinner, and then they had like cat stickers on their face to represent being, you know, Team Cat and all of that. And
oh my God, that's fucking so cool.
Yeah, they were just, you know, we're all from all different walks of life, but it just works.
Yep.
You know, we spend Christmases together ever since we've kind of become a friendship group. And it's just nice to kind of have that exchange. Like, they treat Immi as if she's their own. Rosa is her godmother. Like, you know, I wouldn't have had those people if it wasn't for coming to the gym.
Yeah. Love it.
Love it.
Okay, so you get over your recovery from your surgery, you get back into the gym, and like you said, like you came in and, you know, you come in and you send it, like when you train, man, like you train hard. It's hard to keep up with Kat when she trains. So like for you, that was you really wanted that, because that's your place, that's your mindset that you like to be in.
Yeah.
Then what happens from there? So what's the process? What's the process from there? The next round of IVF.
Yeah. So
was it what was it like going, I've just had to endure all of this and now we're going to go again? Like, how scary was that?
Look, I look back on it now and I go to myself, I was pretty naive thinking that the process would be pretty smooth. And if I had not thought that way in the beginning, then maybe, I would have been in a better headspace at that point in time. So that was June that I found out of 2024. So then we had a month off in July just to let my body settle and relax and get the meds out of the system and that. And then come August, we went and we did a transfer in July as well, but that one just didn't work. Come August, we went for a transfer again, but we got the results of the first baby. And in hindsight, the baby made the choice. So the baby actually had Down syndrome and Edwards syndrome, which basically is incompatible with life. And I kind of count my blessings now that the baby made the choice, that she couldn't survive, because if I had to make the choice, I don't think I would have been strong enough to say that I can't bring the baby into the world.
I hear you.
So I think, in hindsight, I go to myself, it was a blessing in disguise that she made the choice that she wasn't going to be able to make it on the earth.
Yeah. And you said that they didn't actually test then because they felt like because of your age and everything was going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just went with it because...
They're the experts.
Yeah, you follow what you think you know. But I don't think I would have changed anything with it because I look back now and I go to myself, I'm so much stronger, and I think I appreciate being a mum so much more now because of the struggle and the heartbreak. And, come August when we did a transfer, and it took so well that I was sick for 39 weeks. It was a really, really healthy, strong pregnancy. But I think, as any woman who's had a miscarriage would know, you never relax. Like,
you're on edge. You're
always on edge, constantly looking for signs of something going wrong, or, is the baby not moving enough, or, all of those things consumed me for that 39 weeks that I was pregnant. And I remember when I came into the gym, George was like, nope, you're not doing that. Nope, you're not doing that. Do this.
We're not sending it.
That's right.
And, George Bashaw was really, really careful with me, especially on ab days, what I could and couldn't do. And, my quads got a good workout in that time, that's for sure.
A lot of booty bands.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, just going through that process, I trained up until 2 days before having her.
Yeah.
And I possibly, if I could have, I would have trained on the day of having her if I had the chance.
Couple of squats here.
Because, that was my solace. That was, if I came to the gym, I had 45 minutes of me time, 45 minutes to make my body stronger. And
45 minutes with your friends.
Yeah. But I think it's also to that fact of I recovered from pregnancy so well because I trained.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so many people who stop training, I think, really struggle after the fact. I'm stronger now than I was before I was pregnant. I'm lifting heavier. I'm in a better mindset because I kept that going. I think if I had stopped at the 20-week mark, or I think I would have regretted where I would have started, and if I would have started coming back at all. So, yeah, it was something that is a constant.
Yeah.
And if you make that commitment to yourself, it's only going to make things better.
Yeah. And there's obviously, there's some people that are going to have high risk pregnancies where they've got to be super, super careful. But the general rule is if your body's conditioned to a certain type of training, if the pregnancy's healthy, if there's no issues, you can train.
And I mean, Kendra is amazing at the moment. The way that she's training really hard, and Kimmy and all these other people, they're training so hard during their pregnancies, but that's because the safe environment is set up for them too. So it's about the fact that we feel safe to train because we have that guidance and support.
Yeah, I love that. All right, now let's talk about this little blessing. Let's talk about her.
She's amazing.
But I mean, like I love the fact that you created a story for her. I remember every week we're fist bumping the stomach.
Oh, that came together so cool, man.
Yeah.
So cool.
I think
so
once
the people wouldn't have, like, if anyone didn't see that, like, what did you put together? Because that was really, really special.
Yeah, so when I felt safe in the pregnancy, every training session that I did up until having the baby, so I think I was about 20 weeks when I started, because that's when I started telling people, because I felt like I was okay. I made a bump the bump video, and so, you know, every trainer or people I trained with or just whoever was around would fist bump the bump. And then my first session back at the gym where I brought Imogen in, because, you know, she can train there next to me. It's a good, you know, atmosphere to have that. You guys got to actually fist pump her and hold on to her, and it was just cool.
It was special.
It is, and I look at it as like a little miracle for all of us. You know, like, you know, even those who just met you during pregnancy may have not known your story. You know, to understand the struggle, pre, during, like you said, though you were training, you still had that fear in the back of your head, like you said, of the miscarriage. You know what I mean? And then to have this little girl in the gym with us, like, don't hear peep out of her. She's just there, big-eyed, just staring around, like she was meant to be. She was part of it,
Yeah.
and you know. And like you said, she's there next to you training, and she's gonna start seeing her mum's community, her mum's ethics, her mum's thing. But at the same time, for us who know the story, like, that little girl was a blessing.
And that's what I'm hoping, like, to pass on, because I never had those role models growing up. You know, my parents worked, they didn't really train or look after themselves, or nutrition wasn't something that, you know, they really thought too much about. So that would be something that I would hope that, you know, Sammy and I are being able to pass on to her.
You already are, mate.
You already are.
Yeah.
You already are. And I think
it's just like the lives you guys are living now. Like, you've prioritized your health, you prioritize your fitness, you prioritize your mindset. As Immi grows in our gym,
yes.
she's gonna see the work that you guys put in, and you're just programming her, like, how important this is, and you're going to be setting her up for the rest of her life.
Yep.
And I think it's the thing where, you know, as parents, sometimes we get guilty of taking time for ourselves.
Yep.
But without doing that, like, sometimes, like, if I've had a really bad night with her, not sleeping well, you still show up, and you're not showing up necessarily for her, but it's for yourself. And, like, you need that time to yourself. And there's so many of us at the gym as parents who, that's our 45 minutes to ourselves in a day. That's the only time you get to yourself. And it's really important that you do that, and not just, you know, let everything kind of, you know, compile on top of you and it becomes too much.
You answered my next question.
Already?
Yeah, already answered my next question. And I love that, Kate, like I said, like, the importance, because I guess maybe more so mums than dads, but we can feel like if I take 45 minutes to myself, I'm being selfish, I'm being a bad mum, I'm being a bad person. But like you said, it is important, isn't it?
And it's the kind of thing that if you don't do it, then, you know, I just think of the implications later on in life. Like, you know, being over 30 now, that's when you start losing some of that muscle, you start losing some of that bone density. Like, you're building your body to sustain that future. So I think it's really important just to, you know, keep maintaining that.
And Immi's going to grow up knowing how special I hope she grows up knowing how special she is, and everything you and Sammy done to bring her into the world.
100%. And I think, you know, like, not that's a bad thing. Like, we notice when she's not in the gym with you guys now. It's like, it was always good to see you guys, but now it's like, oh, where's Immi?
Yeah.
Like, we get shocked when she's not in the gym. So, you know, for us, it's sort of like, you guys are a package deal.
Yeah.
You know?
That's where it's going to be weird. Like, I've been used to going to, like, the mums and bubs kind of class. And with me going back to work soon, like I'm going to be potentially going back to 5 a.m.s. It's going to be really strange, like...
Not pushing a pram around.
Well, that for one, especially when you're doing lunges, it's a great help. But
you and Cows put a story up the other day that had like, I think it was like 7 or 8 prams in the class.
Yeah.
You were there that
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
That was hilarious.
yeah, it was like prams are us. It was, yeah. No, it was good.
Oh, I love it. Like, we love having you guys. Like, you and Sammy, you guys are amazing. I remember when I first came into the gym, like, you're one of the first people to start talking to me. You know, like, you know, as a trainer, it's just as daunting as it is as members, you know. I walk into this gym that's established. You guys have a great community and vibe. And I remember you were one of the first people to talk to me, welcome me in, and all that sort of stuff. And I think we've always bonded and connected well. And I love that. Same with Sammy. Sammy came straight in. Like, I love Sammy to pieces. You know, he's not the sleepy giant, but he's that quiet giant. But you know what I mean? Like, he's good for a laugh, Sammy. Yeah, I remember that night we went out on the boxing. Oh, that's a story for another time. We did the boxing night, and oh man, that guy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, and now we got Imogen there, and like I said, man, she's gonna be brought up at the gym. Like, we'd love to see her when she's 2, 5, 7, 10.
I know. I keep on sending George like the foam gym equipment.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you need to get her for Christmas, because
Like the barbell set.
Yeah, got to
know.
have the foam barbell set at the gym so she can just do it next to me.
But that's, you know, and just the generational stuff, eh? Like, people talk about generational wealth, but then there's still generational health. You know what I mean? Like, she's gonna grow up seeing her mum and dad, and the minute she wants to train, what's the best she's gonna want to train with mum and dad train?
Yeah.
She's gonna do what mum and dad does. And that's what we're trying to teach, eh? It's not just about just turning up doing weights. It's a family thing. It's a generational thing. It's a community thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest blessing about our community, is that, you know, it doesn't matter where you've come from. It doesn't matter how much wealth you have, how much you're struggling. Like, everyone comes together, and I think it was the first, like, send it. One of the nights.
Level Up.
Yeah, sorry, a level up night that we did. That was the first time that I sat back and went, oh, this is legit. Like,
With my
this
people.
This is, you know, something that's really special that not a lot of places necessarily have. And, you know, you need to make the best of it. And you guys are doing that through the transformation, but also kind of, you know, looking after the people that you have in front of you. You know, it's not just a gym, as some people would say. Like, it's that community vibe that everyone knows everyone, even though you might not know their story. You know, it's easy enough to say, hey, how you doing? Like, everyone will give you a high five. It doesn't matter whether I know you or not. Like, it's just special.
Love it.
So we had Mick on last week.
Yeah.
And mate, the more Micks and cats we can have in the gym, the better.
Oh, the better.
Yeah.
The better.
Oh, she's amazing.
So are you, Kat. So are you. You know.
So I really hope that a lot of our people like see this, because we know that we've had people that have recently like gone through some stuff that you've gone through. So we hope that they see that like how challenging it is, how challenging it can be, how you can get caught up in your head. But if you can be persistent and be persistent, do the right things, and believe, you can get a beautiful reward like Immi at the end.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I think it's understanding that you're not alone. It is one of the most isolating experiences ever, because your partner can't feel what you're feeling. You know, I know that Sam used to hate giving me the injections because they would hurt, and he would be really upset that he's hurting me constantly, but it was for the right reasons. But when you're in it and in the depths of it, you feel like you're alone. I think it's really, like, if I'm looking back on my journey now, if I was to do it again, I would kind of say to myself to get out of my head and understand that I'm not alone. Like, there is so many people, like 1 in 4 people lose a baby.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Like, that statistic seems unreal, but that's the reality of it. And, you know, I spent more time at my fertility centre than most people do. Usually people are in and out. I spent over nearly a year going in and out of that centre. And there were so many women going in and out of there that you don't realise it until you're in it.
Well,
So
Did you wanna drop your doctor's name just in case there's someone, like if there's someone that's like going into like the early stages, haven't picked a doctor yet? Like it sounds like he was amazing for you.
Yeah, so I saw Dr. James Brown at Genea at Norwest. He was actually a featured doctor on One Born Every Minute Australia. And my OBGYN or my gynecologist trained under him. And he's really young, but he just cares, you know, and the bedside manner that he presented made you go, okay, like, yeah, this is going to be hard, but we work together on it. Like, you're not going to just be stuck. You're not just going to be a number or a statistic of, you know, yes, I'm going to get a number out of you and say, yep, one and done, which is what I think the first doctor was like. You know, he cared about his statistics. James cares about his people. So that was really special. And like, she was one of his first babies out of Genea at the clinic. And I even had my midwives at my baby shower. Like, they just became family by the end of it. And they're so special people. Like, they give people such a beautiful gift, and then they don't get to see the gift afterwards, which sounds really sad in the end. But yeah, it's a journey I didn't think I was ever going to have to go on, given that medically there was nothing ever brought up that was wrong with me. But I kind of sit back now and I go, I'm such a strong person because I went through all of that. Yeah. And I'm not usually the kind of person that would share a lot of it, especially in this kind of format. But it's just so special.
It is.
Thanks for sharing.
Yep.
I think what a cool way would be to wrap this up, and I'm going to ask you something, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to ask you away because I think you're going to say yes anyway. If we have members that are experiencing or have recently experienced what you have, and they feel like they need someone to talk to you, they can come and see you in the gym.
100%. Yeah.
Lovely.
100%. You know, another really great resource is Pink Elephant. I don't know if anyone has heard of it before, but, you know, they're an organisation that has counsellors that you can talk to online, but also too they just have resources and they're fighting for women to have rights. Like, my work policy only allows me 1 day for a miscarriage.
Oh, wow.
One day off.
Well, then,
And that's most employers. So, you know, you get 1 day to grieve the child that you're bringing into the world, and they're fighting to try and get, you know, some sort of leave brought in government-wise that's going to help for that. And I hope that they do, because, you know, you got to be a strong person to go through all that and just walk back to work the next day. But
I don't know how you can.
there's so many people that would have to do that. I was fortunate enough that I had sick leave, but, you know, it's something that I think, you know, needs a lot more attention drawn to it.
cool. Well, thank you for that, Kye.
Thanks so much for coming on.
We appreciate you. And like I said, we love you and you love your story and the family.
Awesome.
Seems like yesterday we were cutting up in class. No worries in the world except chasing girls and burning gas. Then one day you wake up, you're tossing up them caps. Don't it seem like the good times go by too fast? Yeah, I wish time would tick a little slower. Sometimes it feels like a blink and then it's over. Better soak it in, better make it last. Live it up while we can, cause the good times go by too fast. It feels like yesterday I walked in that bar. Wasn't looking for nothing, now look where we are. We're watching our kids growing up in a flash. Don't it feel like the good times go by too fast? Yeah, I wish time would tick a little slower. Live it up while we can.